We are going live
Woo, woo.
and we are connected. Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2021. Did anyone ever think it was possible to get past March of 2020?
March went on forever, didn't it?
March Ember.
March Ember. Yeah, but then the rest of the year just disappeared really quickly. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it, how it all went?
Yeah, yeah.
So
We're on the other side.
we are, unbelievably so. And with a vaccine inside.
Yeah.
For most of us,
For us.
anyway.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I can see that you are wearing an F. Oh,
Oh, yes, I am. Do you like it? Eventide by Holly. Oh, I always have problems with second names, don't I? Oh, I can't even tell you. I think it begins with an S. I made it a couple of gift alongs ago, and she was part of it, and she's not been since.
okay. And you have a bra.
I have a bra on, yeah. Woo woo! We're winning.
Yes, and it looks so much better with the bra.
Yeah, because this is the top, but we let it all hang out, and it wasn't a good look. Shan't be doing that again, let's say.
No.
And you wear an FO there?
I'm wearing a top from Georgia Asda.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say, I don't remember you working on that. Did you whip that one up quite quickly?
I haven't done any knitting probably since about Christmas Eve.
Wow.
I know, feels like a bit of a dry spell, but for those who don't know, I've had a bit of norovirus, so we'll just leave that there because we all know what that means.
When you said that you hadn't knitted a stitch for days, I was like, oh my God, do we need to send an ambulance? She's obviously really, really poorly. What's going on?
Yeah, something. No energy for it, no interest, nothing. And I had a drink last night before bed. I had some green ginger wine, and that's the first alcohol I've had since before Christmas. Which is a bit sad, really. Oh, and Emma's internet's gone. Feeling a little bit better, Helen. Lovely to see you. Happy New Year and all that. Hoping Emma can get back on. I wonder if Phil's disconnected or he was pottering about and doing something with the router before we started. So yeah, feeling a little bit better, thank you. Still very tired, and I don't know where my knitting mojo has gone, but all I've done is frog a hat, and that's the remains. It's that Air Valley double knit that I showed last time. God, I hate it with a passion. So I don't know. It's like feels as rough and unpleasant as probably a badger's bum. I don't know. Hi, Catherine. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm a bit better, thank you. Just lingering and tired. Oh, Jessie's here as well. Hi, Jessie. Thank you very much. Just got to take it easy and just be a bit kind, isn't it? I'm so glad that Jake didn't go back to work today because I really couldn't have coped with the 5 o'clock start this morning. Oh, Helen says I should throw the yarn out. Yeah, probably a good thing. Oh, and there's our other Helen saying, glad to know you're feeling better. Thank you very much. And hello, Jackie. So, Happy New Year. Hopefully, Emma's on her way back. She'll have to look out for a message, see if she comes in to chat or not. Hopefully, she's not had a power cut last time and had to redial on her phone. But here we go. We were going to talk today about FOs, whips, and what we're going to do with them. For those of you that are in the after party group, hi Carol, lovely to see you. There is a 5F thread, which if I try and get that correct, it's find your FO or whip or whatever it is that requires your attention. Oh, Anne's here as well. Hello. You've got to find it. You've got to make a decision to finish it, fix it, frog it, forget it. or whatever. But I think that's a really good approach. And one of the things that I've noticed in chat over recent months is just a bit of overwhelm. So I thought it would be a good idea to chat about that and maybe come up with some strategies for dealing with it. Oh, that sounds like Emma popping back in.
I'm on the phone.
I said you'd be on your phone. I just wonder if Phil had trashed your internet because he had a router in his hands, didn't he?
Oh, he was doing all sorts. Like, he's sat at my computer now where I should be.
Oh, bless.
Rude man. You gonna say hello to everyone?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I've had to decamp. Sorry, what were you talking about then?
I was just saying about is it 5 Fs or is it 6 Fs now?
Oh,
with the find
12.
it, sit, forget it, finish it, frog it. I can't remember what the other one is. It might not be a polite one. Maybe we'll gloss over that.
Well, yeah, maybe it's what's on my cup.
It could be that. Could be that. Someone here will know.
Yeah.
Probably. One of the Helens will know. I am absolutely certain.
They'll fill us in.
But one of the things I do, if I'm absolutely overwhelmed with the number of whips, and I'm sure you can imagine I don't have many whips in my house. I think at the last count there were about 31.
Blimey.
One of my tactics for dealing with that is to put things away that I am not going to work on for some time, because either they're at a stage where I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So what do we mean by stuck? In the case of my Dirty Martini cardigan, it was made with Malabrigo Rios, and the skeins I had left for the sleeves were vastly different to the body, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be too high a contrast compared to the body. And really the only way to find out was a year later to go back to it and just knit the wretched sleeves. Be done with it. And I love it, and it worked.
Cool.
But sometimes it needs to go into timeout.
Yeah. While
you consider your options. There are other times where you really want to finish something because it's for you or it's for someone else, and so a project comes along that's got a deadline. Whether that's it could be a design submission, but it might just be that your best friend's had a baby or a grandchild and you want to make something, so everything else gets put on hold.
Yeah.
So what gets put on long-term hold and what's just put aside for a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
So I always like to have this sort of project bags behind my head, and they're all things that I can pick up as I feel like it, that are at a stage where I can just carry on and follow the pattern without thinking about it a great deal.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. My whole house is just like falling apart on me right now.
Is that finished? It's the printer. I always don't like the printer either.
Oh, I don't even know why the printer's just decided to whack itself on. Have I got gremlins in or something? I don't understand what's going on.
Oh, if you have, keep them dry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because otherwise we'll just end up with 20 or 21 being just like 2020.
Oh my goodness me. I don't even understand why that's decided. Hang on, I have to try and find the flipping power lead. Oh my God. Oh.
Catherine says she saw the 5F thread. Not sure she's ready for that yet, although two of her UFOs are from 2007, 2008.
Right.
And she's laughing at poor Arthur. And Helen says, trust you. Helen says it's better than whacking off on camera.
Hang on.
What, that sounds like that. That really should have been me that said that, Helen.
Oh, bless.
Oh, funny. 2007, 2008. I think my worst FOs were 2012. Quinnipiac cowl. It's sort of a magenta coloured cabled and mesh lace.
Yeah.
Coco, go and choke somewhere else. Yeah, and I wasn't enjoying the mesh lace. I wasn't particularly enjoying the cables. I really wasn't enjoying the combination thereof, but I quite like the finished cowl. So I picked it up after 8 years, 8 years, and just finished it early this year. So yeah.
I don't have any whips that are that old. Well, I don't have any whip. I've got one whip. Am I just a bit weird?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
You are, but Helen Gipson is going to leap to your defence any second and say that she only ever has usually one whip.
I don't know what it is. I just like to work on one thing at a time.
You are monogamous.
I am, and occasionally I have to work on something else, but it does upset me.
See, whereas with my knitting, I'm an outrageous flirt. I flip from one to the next.
And if something new distracts you,
oh yeah, new shiny new pretty syndrome. Every time, yeah.
Oh.
No, absolutely.
I look like I've got a halo.
Oh, you do rather, don't you?
It's not true.
I feel like I should be singing while shepherds wash their socks by night.
Yeah, but it's a bit late for that now, isn't it?
So something of that ilk.
Yeah. I have some things that I think I might frog though.
Right, what have you got?
Hang on, I did pull these out the other day. I had to reorganise my office, I was told, and I wasn't happy about it. Okay, I thought they were in there. Forget that. No. Forget that I even said that, because I can't find it now. Do you know?
Well, as I said while you were scuttling about in the dark with no internet,
I found it.
I ripped out a hat, and this is the Air Valley DK, and Helen thinks I should just throw it away or give it away. It honestly, it's rough as a badger's backside.
I remember you saying when you were knitting with it that you
deeply horrible stuff, and I really, if I was going to take such offence or dislike to a yarn, it's going to be one of those frilly scarf yarns that you see on the market stalls.
Yeah.
Which encourage people to start knitting and work their way onto other stuff, but I just loathe and despise. So yeah, you'd think it would be that, but a pure wool mostly wool with a bit of nylon because it's a sock yarn.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that I could live with it, but no.
I don't even think it'd be nice on your feet, would it?
No, I think it would itch me like mad.
Feet got a bit warm.
Oh, so Catherine says, I like small projects like socks, and my old whips are either blankets or sweaters. Well, I think that's fair enough because they're big commitment things, aren't they? Although to me, a sock could be a 10-year project. It has to be said in fingering weight yarn, couldn't it?
Actually finished a pair of socks?
I've knitted 3 pairs of fingering weight socks.
Right.
All of which Jake stole and wore out. And 4 pairs of Aran weight socks. And probably 6 pairs of bulky weight.
Could you maybe just not do that right now? Could you just please?
Trying to sort your internet.
I am really sorry.
Don't disregard me. Don't take any notice of me.
Are you going to join in? Because you're just winding the dog up and everything now.
No, you. Trying to sort your internet out.
Do you know?
Deep breath counts 10. Now, where were we? Jessie says her oldest whip is from 2018 and it's an ongoing non-work project that she only picks up between other things. A Darla of Norway sweater for her husband, and she's reached the colourwork part on the body and at least the sleeves are finished. She says she started with those. Oh, clever girl, because sleeves are my nemesis.
Hashtag sleep.
So yeah, I mean the Darla sweater patterns are absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But Catherine, I think sweaters and blankets are fairly big commitments. So I always think with something like that, it's good to have smaller projects where you can just dip in and get a bit of instant satisfaction or gratification.
Yeah, definitely. You need to.
And yeah, and just keep you going and then go back and do a bit more. And if I'm working on a sweater and I need to get it done, then I'll set a target of maybe 1 or 2 inches of knitting on it a day.
Yeah.
And or a pattern repeat or whatever it is I need to do.
You can be quite monogamous when the mood takes you as well, though.
I can, yeah. And then most years at some point I will just stop knitting.
Yeah.
And I will crochet a couple of blankets over maybe 2 or 3 months, and then I'll start knitting again. My knitting will be truly awful because I'll have lost tension and all the rest of it. Oh, Helen says she might rip out the shawl she crocheted in 2019 and she'll never wear it, and the yarn was gorgeous. What? Helen, you could always send it to some really lovely people who would wear it, just saying.
Oh, is it blue?
Yeah, it's in blue. You knew that question was coming. Anne says, I don't like having too many projects on the needle because it's guaranteed to be frogging. And now to the gal, I immediately started to finish the sweater of the child and assemble the gal blankie, although I put on a pair of socks because I wanted to start the new year with a new project. Well, that's good because you've got a larger project and a smaller project.
A lot of people like to do that, don't they?
Yeah, and I think with blankets, if you're doing squares or sections or stripes, you can have a target of so many stripes a day or stripes a week or even stripes a month. It's not a race.
No.
And sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves that we just forget that we're doing this because it's fun.
Apparently.
I'm laughing at Catherine. She says she gets the hats and socks done but tends not to go back to the sweater and the blanket. Well, maybe that's the case of having them prominent.
Yeah.
And maybe in your face.
So I found my my foes that I'm going to rip out, and you might be surprised actually. Okay, so the first one is this.
Is that that beautiful elephant cowl by Janice Hope?
Yeah, I'm thinking of ripping it. It's just so big and it's slightly itchy, and I don't think I'll ever wear it. I mean, I've had it finished for over a year and I've never worn it yet.
Right.
And I just think, because the other thing that I'm thinking of ripping is this. My jumper that I was going to steek to make a cardie.
Right.
And my thinking is that they're both the same yarn. And I'm thinking I want to redo this, but rather than in colour blocks, more colour work.
Right.
And if I had this ripped as well, I'd have more options.
You would. You'd have contrast colours.
So this is my thinking. I don't know. I haven't quite 100% decided, but that's what I'm thinking at the moment, these two.
Well, what do we think about that team?
Should I, shouldn't I?
Right, so Helen says she'll swap.
What's she swapping for?
Is this the shawl for the cowl? Is that what you're negotiating here, Helen? Jackie says, I've got a crochet blanket unfinished and just don't like it anymore. Should I finish and give it away or throw it away? I'm not frogging it because all the ends are woven in apart from a few.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of work.
Would it take a lot of work to finish it, I think is the question there, Jackie. If it's a quick finish and you can be done with it and gift it, give it away to someone, then that might be your option. But if you really don't want to finish it because you hate it, you're not enjoying it, and you're not enjoying the colours or anything else anymore, and it's going to be too hard to frog because you've done the right thing by weaving all the ends in. I mean, my goodness, what a task that is.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Maybe it's time to let it go or make pot holders out of it or something. I don't know. Catherine says it's a scary thought to frog that cowl. Yeah.
But I did get the pleasure of knitting it though.
Yes. Oh, so Helen says shawl, cowl. I think might have a swap there, Emma.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, and Jackie says she really likes the jumper.
Well, yeah. Well, it's half done. It still needs to be steeked, and I'm thinking if I'm going to frog it, now would be the time to do it.
Oh, Helen's getting serious. There's a link here.
Oh, like that. Is it blue?
Funnily enough,
let's have a look.
It looks grey to me.
Yeah, that does look slightly grey. I mean, it's nice. Slightly blue. There's a lot of work in that.
There is a lot of work in that.
Wow. Finding balance. It's lovely.
It is a beautiful yarn. I honestly think, Helen, if it's not floating your boat, you should frog it and reuse the yarn.
Because it is nice yarn.
Unless Emma's going to snap your hand off. But well, yeah. They're both beautiful in different ways, obviously. Yeah. Jackie says one more hexagon to finish the round, but there's meant to be another round and she doesn't like the colours she chose.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's frustrating as well, isn't it?
That's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know what to suggest.
What would you do with it if you finished it? Would you donate it to the hospital or the hospice or somewhere like that?
Right.
Or, is that what you do with it? Because if it's for something like that, then I think I could probably summon the energy to finish it off, just knowing that it was going to go somewhere where it would be appreciated.
Yeah.
But if you're not loving the colours, then maybe it's time to just let it go and kiss it goodbye and say thank you very much for the learning experience.
Should I sing right now? Because you said it, didn't you? Let it go, let it go.
That was lovely.
You appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. Helen says it was Fleece Artist, the yarn, I believe.
Right, okay. Not my song.
Yeah, it doesn't say on the oh, it does there.
On the project.
Canadian Holiday 2017 Fleece Artist, 113 grams.
Wow.
111 used, but not enough for the pick out edge. How frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
That would drive me bananas. What kind of yarn, Jackie, could it be over dyed, says Jessie. What a good suggestion.
That's a good idea. Yeah, how come we didn't think of that? Well done, Jessie. Could always try it.
Jackie says she'd give it to anyone that can make use of it, and she really doesn't want to send it to landfill, so she guesses she's got to make one more hexagon. Yes, that's true.
I mean, when you get that close,
it is a shame to get that far and not finish, but I wouldn't ever want to pressure someone to finish something if they're not feeling the love. Oh, it's a Starcross Special double knit, nothing special, she says, but we're over dye. It's a good workhorse yarn and I use a lot of it. Yeah, it washes well. No,
especially for blankets and things like that.
Well, and it's a good range of reliable colours. It doesn't really matter about your dye lot, does it?
Yeah.
You don't, and if you're doing stuff for babies in particular, you don't want anything that's going to be hard to look after or that could be given to somebody like my mother who could felt a rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
It ends up looking awful.
So what are you knitting?
Me, a shawl. I just sort of like cast on and decided to play.
Have you got more colours, or is this a...
Yeah, it's a gradient pack, 50 grams each, so it's white, grey, and then 3 shades of blue getting darker to a real navy.
All right, sounds lovely.
Yeah, so I'm just playing at the moment.
Oh, Jessie says, well, my hexagon's not too bad if you don't have to do the other round.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. I would cheat and do it that way.
Definitely.
Yeah. Jackie says, if I finish the round, it'll stay a hexagon. She'll see if she can type a link. Is this the Julie Jaeger one? Cathedral or something like that? Is that the...
So it's just the colours that she doesn't like.
Well, a lot of people who made it did it with a black border.
Okay.
She wanted to look like stained glass cathedral windows, if this is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Not that. See if I can spell Jaeger. No.
Depends which kind.
Oh, here we go.
If it's got a bomb on the end.
Is it the Gothic Windows Throw?
Ooh,
Is that the one?
that sounds interesting.
Let me see if... I think this is the one that Jackie's referring to, because I've seen it.
Right.
She was one of the testers.
Oh, that's lovely.
And there's lots of colourful ones on there now, but
yeah,
pretty much every one of the initial projects had black.
So what's Jackie gone for?
This is Jackie's.
Oh, right. Oh, they're lovely colours, aren't they?
I think it's beautiful.
It's very clever.
It is a very clever design, but there's no horrendously difficult stitches or anything like that. I suppose it's the bit where we all fall down, if we're honest, counting.
Right, okay. It can be challenging.
Yes, on occasion.
Yeah.
But I think they're lovely colours. But then if she's not feeling it, then,
No.
well, you know, what else can you do?
I mean, they do go well together. She's chosen them well to go together, but if they're just not her colours.
Jackie's very good with colour.
Yeah.
I have to say, a lot of her projects are really beautifully done, and she's done a lot more crochet than I ever have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wow.
Very experienced.
You will appreciate it when it's finished.
Well, and that's the thing, isn't it? Someone will love it, even if she doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think we tend to forget that. We judge our own work far too harshly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know that I would have Helen Gipson's stamina of like she does with her blankets, where that is what she works on for weeks and weeks and weeks, potentially months.
Amazing.
And sometimes days on one strip or one square, knitting it and rewriting it and perfecting it and making sure that the writing matches the chart, matches the this, matches the that. And honestly, I was exhausted just thinking about it.
I know.
Oh, so Jackie's saying not that one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, right. So not that one. She says, I need to finish the Gothic windows too, put off by sewing the seams instead of a crochet join. Right. Yeah, it's whip stitch, isn't it? So it's the honeycomb web. Ah, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I remember that one.
What's that one then?
I think Valerie described it, and Jackie can tell me if I'm wrong, as a relaxing crochet.
Oh, right. So she's literally just got that one down the bottom there to finish.
Yeah. But you see all this mesh and these ridges.
Yeah.
That that to me makes me come out in hives. That doesn't look relaxing at all. Just...
Yeah, and I mean, it's not my colours. I don't really like pinks, so I can see what she's probably feeling.
Yeah, Jackie doesn't really do pink.
Like blue.
Blue and grey and stormy and beachy colours, browns and things like that. So yeah.
Like me then, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think
work.
that's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and you can see that that's a lot of work gone in there.
Yeah, I mean, I dare say Valerie, when she was designing it, could probably make them in her sleep.
Yeah.
But just for me, the challenge would be just getting them the same size or all as one another.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So yeah, epic.
Yeah, that is an epic one.
But yeah, you're so close. I think you have to finish it. I'm sorry.
Even if it goes in the charity bag.
Well, I think up at St Mary's Hospice or one of the retirement homes or somewhere like that, they're always glad of a blanket for when people even are visiting.
I mean, it'd be ideal to put on the floor, to put a baby on, you know, when they're just kicking on the floor. All sorts of ideas for that.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's if you know anybody who's planning any imminent arrivals or just had one or whatever.
Arthur would lay on it.
Oh, Jackie says she doesn't know what she was thinking in terms of the colours. Roses for the bees, maybe, and it was so repetitive because obviously, apart from the one in the centre, you make loads and then increasingly more of every colour that you do.
Right.
Carol says she agrees. Finish and donate. Yeah, as beautiful as it is, if you don't love it, let it go.
Oh, did you want me to sing again? Let it go, let it go. Sorry, it was your fault. You said it.
Was there a stampede for the door then?
Just don't say that line and it'll be fine.
Oh. Goodness, I've got pins and needles now from clenching my hands.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been
I know. And I've got my Daylin sweater, which is waiting for sleeves.
Hashtag sleeve gate.
Yeah, and the more I look at it, the more I think, do I want it? Do I want to rip it back and knit something else? I am really not sure. I love the colours. Does anybody want to see the one I'm talking about? And then that might make more sense.
You know, we like to have a little pilfer through your knicker drawer.
Honestly, it's the closest I've been in about 18 months. So, you know, feel free to rummage.
To having someone pilfering through your knicker drawer.
Well, yeah. A girl has to take her excitement where she can find it in a pandemic.
Exactly.
Right, there we are. So this is an Isabel Kramer.
Yeah.
Kind of as far as I've got. You'll see that the sleeves are on hold.
Strange that.
Yes. And I have quite an instance on various bits of this of what we're calling purpling rather than pooling. And in some cases, I was only able to do one round rather than two with a ball before having to change to avoid more pooling. And I did debate about ripping it out because I wasn't happy. That's the top back, and I wasn't happy with the pooling on that at all. And I think the longer I've left it, the less sure I am of it. I love the colours of the Rios. It's the Archangel colourway. Absolutely beautiful. I love the oranges and the purples, and there's the odd smatterings of green in there, like a khaki olive green. Love it, love it, love it. And this is I'll go to the pullover itself, which she just did in a plain colour.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see the detail on the side, where in the larger sizes, that angle of garter that comes to the front is more pronounced.
Right.
So it starts at the back and goes from the side seams almost to the centre front on the larger sizes.
Right.
And I love its simplicity, but I don't know that I'm loving that yarn. So, you know. Oh, Helen, stop encouraging her. Catherine, question, when frogging a sweater, do you use a yarn ball winder or a swift or pile it on the floor and wind later? Because I might be close to frogging this 2007 sweater.
Oh, wow.
I use my hands, Catherine.
Yeah.
I use my hands because if I've got any knots or bits that catch, or I might have woven an end in and have to tease it out with the needle, and I don't want to have to stop the ball winder or faff about. And I like to wind the yarn into a hand wound ball afterwards.
Do you pull it out all at once and then wind it? Because I tend to do a bit at a time.
As long as it's not a yarn that creates a lot of dust,
yeah,
then I will do it all at once.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, and particularly where it's colour work, I would rip it out by hand and rewind the balls. Sometimes I may tie them into a skein and rewash them if they've been knitted up for quite some time. Then I might do that. So Jackie says, thank you, Carol, for the advice. Helen's saying, sing for me, and laughing out loud at the same time. Jessie says, I have a pair of gloves I started for myself in autumn 2019 and was apparently confident enough that I'd finish them in a few months and I put the date on. Not so far in that I couldn't frog back, but I'm wondering if I should just continue, mark the second glove with 2020 and then duplicate stitch the final digit once I know which year I actually finished them.
Oh,
it sounds like a very good tactic to me.
I would say,
without forcing yourself into a corner.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what you should do. Oh, Helen says hand knit gloves are fab, and she hand winds as she goes when she's frogging.
Yeah, I do.
I think it gives you a better idea of how your yarn is going to behave and whether it needs to stretch out into a tight ball and left like that for a few days, and then wound with the yarn winder into a looser cake.
Yeah.
Once you've got a lot of the crimp out, and to let the yarn relax again. Jessie, so I think another thing I have to do in order to get back to them is to enlarge the chat so I can see without having to take my glasses off. Yeah, hear you on that one.
Are you sitting there like that going,
Well, yeah, I feel like I need one arm that's a foot longer than the other. Kind of do that. Carol hand winds as she goes. Helen says arm skein and then soak. Yeah,
properly.
Yeah, well, where you've got a pure wool, that's probably the best thing. But if you've just got an acrylic or a blend, then sometimes you can cheat and do it my way.
And it depends how long it's been knitted up as well, because if it's only been a day or two, it might not be so crinkly.
Yeah, I mean, that's just hand wound back onto the skein.
Yeah.
And it's been knitted up for about a week and a half. So it's not really crinkly or messy.
No. So what are you going to do with that? Have you decided? Is it going in the charity bag?
I'll probably donate it to my friend Fiona, who's learning to knit and making a blanket with a collection of the ugliest yarns I have seen in my entire life, it has to be said. But they're all donated, and she is just doing it to learn how to knit squares.
Oh, well, that's all right then, isn't it?
And then I think it's planned to go to Syria or somewhere like that for people who've got naffal.
Yeah.
And aren't going to be bothered about the colours. They just want a warm blanket.
Yeah.
So.
It will be warm, definitely.
Well, it will. And she's getting to the stage now where she can actually cast off on her own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's knitted about 20 or 30 squares now.
Oh, that's good.
Well, given that she started just before the pandemic and hasn't been able to attend a knitting group, which is what she needed for the help, I think she's done pretty well. And she's got no internet, so it's not like she can come on here or YouTube or whatever.
Oh, wow. She's done really well then.
But I think it is worth looking at your whips. And if that's overwhelming, then I don't know. If you're like me and you've got 30-something whips that you're prepared to own up to, that figure may be higher, but we're not going there. Then
no, don't go there.
5 or 6 at a time and look at a group of them and do I love it? Does it, do the Marie Kondo thing of does it bring me joy? And if I don't love it, it doesn't bring me joy, but I promised it for someone else and I've got to finish it, then finish the wretched thing.
Get it out the house.
Get it out the house, get it out of sight, get it out of your mind and have it done and know that you've done your duty. Because sometimes it's duty or obligation knitting. It's not necessarily pleasure knitting.
I was going to say, close your eyes and think of England.
Yes.
I'm doing my duty.
Yes, for those of us that have been watching Bridgerton, England was the last thought on my mind.
Didn't have to close your eyes at all there.
My goodness, no.
Keep them wide open.
There was far too much to look at, I tell you.
Yes, but not too much, because you don't want too much to look at, because that just ruins the whole thing.
Honestly, I'll have to get my fan out.
Oh, it make me giggle.
All of a flutter, Mrs. Sadler.
Were you blushing?
Oh, takes a bit.
Oh, Henry will be ringing you up in a bit of a mood soon if you're not careful.
Well, I might arouse a bit of jealousy. It's probably about all I will arouse, but there you are.
It's his own fault.
We'll take what we can get. He just brushed me off in the summer.
Exactly, it's his own fault. He gets what he deserves. What more can I say? I haven't seen any of it yet. It's something that I'm saving.
Is this for when the hubster has gone back
and stops annoying me?
That's his lot in life. That's his job. That's what marriage is. Smile and enjoy it. And he's making dinner.
Well, I made dinner. He's just got to put it in the oven.
Oh, is he assembling or just?
I assembled.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
This is obviously a touchy subject here.
No, it's fine because I kicked him out of the garden and he was cleaning up the garden in the cold. So I think I got the better deal. It's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What else can we say about Project Overwhelm? I think understanding why you made something.
Oh, that's a good reason, yeah.
Because sometimes it's a bit like, do you remember the shawl I was referring to as the onion shawl? The Hannah what's-her-face, lovely lady we met at Yarndale. I was knitting that shawl. And it was really because I wanted to try the stitch pattern.
Right.
Whether I ever finish the shawl or even want to is a moot point. I cast on because I wanted to see how it worked, understand whether I would enjoy making a larger piece, and see how it worked with the yarn I chose, which I don't think was the best choice for the pattern. Right. So sometimes it should just be cut your yarn and do something else with the remainder, or frog it and reuse the yarn.
And maybe you knit it again using something else?
Yeah, I think I would knit it again with a solid or a semi-solid or, a kettle dye or something like that.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because it was enjoyable. Whether I would do all the the twisted stitches that she did, I think I'd be tempted to swatch and not do as many twisted stitches.
And see how it looked.
Because it would be faster for me.
Right.
To do it that way. It's like knitting a giant piece of ribbing with these occasional holes and oniony shapes in, and it's exceptionally clever, and I really love how it works. So it was enjoyable, and I'm really glad I cast it on. Will I finish it? I doubt it.
Yeah.
And that'll be one of the decisions I'll make this week. And it won't take me long to look at it and think, yeah, that's it.
But then, like you said, it's served its purpose from the cast on anyway. So
yeah, exactly. And I think one of the things that this Air Valley DK has helped is that I don't want a double knit yarn for my hat pattern. I need a worsted or an Aran to get the smooshiness and thickness that I want. A double knit will not work.
Okay. Well, at least you know.
So it served its purpose in that sense.
Yeah.
Unless I knitted it and went down needle sizes and all the rest of it. Can I be bothered doing that? I don't know. It's the honest answer.
Yeah.
Really don't know.
Probably not.
No, possibly not. So I think with my Daling pullover, I may end up ripping that back. Or it may be that I sit down with it and love it so much that I might just finish the sleeves and work them flat.
Yeah.
I think if I knitted the sleeves flat, I could probably get one done in a day.
And then see how you feel. I mean, the good thing about the purpling is it's on the back, so you can't see it when you're wearing it.
No, although even despite the fact that my mother's blind in one eye and affected sight in the other, she would see that.
Yeah, well, she could.
And she'd tell me.
Well, make sure that every time you see her, if you're wearing that, you've got a coat on or something, so she doesn't see it. It'll be fine.
Honestly, she would absolutely see it straight away. There's no
just never turn round in front of her. You know, treat her like a queen, so you have to back out so she never sees you back.
Oh, that's maybe what I need to do. I've got a shawl called Efferhild, which is the Sarah Alderson design that I picked up at Yarndale, if you remember.
Oh, yes.
And I'm more than halfway through this, and I have found the other ball of yarn. I need to finish it.
Hurrah!
And it's in a bag waiting for me to pick it up and go.
And shall you?
Yeah, I am going to finish it because I really like it.
Yeah, it's lovely. I like the colours.
It's very, very pretty. What else have I got? Eastern Jewels. Now this one, I don't know. This was always going to be a long-term project. I've made 3.
Right. Oh, they're pretty.
They're absolutely stunning.
How many do you need?
That many.
Oh, wow. What, 8, 12, 16?
Yeah. I love it. I love the colours. I enjoyed making it. It took me about 10 hours per, are they octagons? Yes, per octagon.
Per shape.
Yes, 10 hours each. I'm not the fastest when it comes to more complex stitches. I did find out very, very quickly that with these twiddly bits here, you have to go down a couple of hook sizes compared to anywhere else. Otherwise, they look a bit big and floppy. And there were other bits where she said go down a hook size and I had to go up a hook size and stuff like that. So with that one, I never really thought that I would finish it quickly. It was a long-term project where periodically I'll pick it up, but I've found that I have to sit and make 1 octagon.
Okay.
And finish that octagon.
Yeah.
And get that done, because if I don't, going back to it part way through means I won't do it. I have to do 1 shape per session.
So you have to got time to do that.
Yeah. So you've got to have a full day or a weekend clear to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Helen says bums. I did 10 stitches the wrong way around in my rib about 5 rows down.
Oh no.
Oh, Helen.
Oopsie.
But you are the queen of being, I mean, if anybody can ladder that down and quickly sort it out with the hook.
Bit of surgery.
Yeah, you are absolutely the queen of doing that. What else have I got that's a declared whip? I might have some that are hibernating.
Oh. How long have they been hibernating?
Oh, I don't know. Long time.
Mm.
2009.
Wow.
Yeah, there are actually some socks there just to prove that I made socks, because everyone said, oh, you love making socks. Yeah, funnily enough, I don't.
I do love making socks, but I don't tend to wear them unless I wear them instead of slippers.
I have a design question.
Mm.
Let's see whether I should do anything with this or not.
Go on then.
So this was a Lana Stop yarn. It's slightly heavier than bulky.
Okay.
So it's not super bulky, but it's fairly chunky.
Right.
And I did a mosaic or a slip stitch pattern, and then
wow.
set in sleeves. And
Yeah.
I've never finished the neckline. I did do the cuffs though.
Right.
Just a folded cuff and a folded hem. You kind of see it there.
Yeah. And it's blue.
Yeah, and the inside of the hem is the green.
Right.
And the back hem it's split at the sides, and the back is longer than the front by about maybe an inch, something
Okay.
like that. And I was going to do it as a design, but I can't find any of my notes or pattern stuff that I did, so I've got to reverse engineer it. So is it worth it? I don't know.
That's a lot of work that you've done and then just not written it down.
Well, and the yarn is discontinued now, and I'm not sure what would be a suitable replacement.
So yeah, you'd have to make it in something else, wouldn't you?
We'll certainly find a good range of testers for it. So I don't know. And I don't know whether they would enjoy the set-in sleeve. I don't know whether I should re-knit it and do that as a raglan, because it was worked bottom up.
Do you think it would be worth maybe putting feelers out to see if anyone would be interested in test knitting it?
Maybe.
Now that Christmas is over and done with, people might be more interested.
Yeah, but I think I should also ask whether they prefer the idea of a set-in sleeve or a raglan, because bottom up, I could easily do the raglan, and it's not a massive change, and it would make a neater yoke.
And as you're having to reverse engineer anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly, because then I could just rip it down to the underarms and redo the top.
I think it's definitely worth putting some feelers out and asking. Maybe put it on Instagram, see what people say. Could be a talking point.
Yeah, it's a lovely yarn. It's Lana Stop Kaipo, which is, it's 55% wool, 45 acrylic, but it's very light.
Right.
It's extremely light, really warm. And I don't really wear blacks or greys, as you know, but yeah. I like the subtle colour changes in that, and I love the more obvious colour changes in the green colourway. I don't know.
Something to mull over.
Well, yeah, and it's something I need to find the sample.
You need to find it. Do we have a mull over that begins with an F? Oh, what's a word for mull over that begins with F? I can't think of one.
I can't. Can Helen, our Scrabble queen, can you perhaps put us in the right direction?
All the words.
I do not know.
I can't think of one.
I do not know. While we are chatting, obviously a lot of you have been taking part in the gift along.
Oh yes.
What was the highlight of the gift along for you? Was it something that you made? Did you take on a new skill? Oh, Helen helpfully says, think about it.
In your best Cockney accent. Get out of my pub.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Babs.
Oh, bless her. I'm going to think about it.
Think. It would work. It would work. Maybe we should add that to the mix. So maybe next time we meet, when are we doing this again?
Well, I don't know, because I'm meant to ask you about that. It's my birthday on Thursday, and
Oh, we shouldn't do that then.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to give it a miss or do a different day.
No, we'll just do Sunday. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
We're in holiday mode, are we not?
I'm being promised a home cooked dinner because obviously we can't go anywhere.
That's true. I've got a cheap dinner. And they're Aldi. We're doing. They have all the bags of. We call them chicken groggets.
Oh yeah.
I've no idea where the name comes from. It's just something that started years and years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a derisory expression for horrible nuggets.
Yeah.
But in with the chicken groggets were some chicken strips with salt and chili seasoning.
Oh, sounds nice.
And they're really good, and there's loads of garlic on them.
Oh,
It's about 180 a pack or something. Well, Jake will eat 2/3 of a pack and I'll eat the rest. So we'll probably have that with some potato wedges or something I can just slam in the oven and not really think. I'm not really in the mood to cook at the moment. So
tonight we're having chicken wrapped in bacon with mashed potatoes that I prepared earlier.
Sounds lovely.
Looking forward to that.
So I think when we meet again next Sunday,
yeah,
I will prepare some whips. And have a look at what my questions are about those whips. So how far have I got with them? What questions do I need to ask about those? And what am I going to do about them? And then go through that process. And if anybody else can bring a whip that they are uncertain of,
do you
have your Ravelry link handy so that we can have a look at it and we can discuss the merits. And like Sue Jackie's beautiful blanket, just because she doesn't love it doesn't mean that someone else won't absolutely adore it. But just finish it.
Maybe we can see if anyone's made progress in the week.
Yeah, that would be good. Catherine, let us know what you decide about your sweater. Helen, let us know about the shawl. I think frog might be the answer with that one because that yarn is just too beautiful.
Yeah.
To be trapped in something that you don't love.
It is a lovely yarn.
It's a bit like a bad marriage, isn't it? It's an unsuitable match. Just to be Jane Austen for a moment.
What's on your mind still?
Indeed.
You're looking forward to get back to your wedding night, aren't you?
I was halfway through the wedding night episode. It's a wonder I didn't arrive all in a fluster.
You were a little bit pink, but I thought that was cold.
Oh, it's reflecting from my sweater.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll let you off.
A matron of my age would surely not get flustered.
Nothing should surprise you anymore, should it?
Well, it shouldn't now. It did make me laugh. There was a comment in the after party group for anyone that was there this morning that someone had told one of the members that it was verging on soft porn. And I sat there thinking, this person has clearly never watched soft porn. Because there's considerably more goes on in that than there was in this. And I have to say, when I compare it to the earlier series of Outlander.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I was much more uncomfortable, and I'll happily say that. I was really uncomfortable by some of the scenes in Outlander.
I was definitely surprised by one or two, without a doubt.
Well, and the graphic nature of it, I think they went a little bit far. I've got a brain and an imagination, and I know what goes where. I can imagine it. You don't need to show me every detail.
I think it's the first thing that I'd watched that's a mainstream TV program, as it were, with full frontal male nudity in it. You just don't expect that, do you?
I think
you don't see it often.
No, I think the first time I saw it was Anthony Andrews, for those of us old enough to remember him. What was the series? Helen Gipson will know. Brideshead Revisited, was it?
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Say no more.
Yes, half the country was a flutter over that one. But he did a drama after that, which was one of these nuclear holocaust things where
Right.
a young lady is sort of foraging in the wild to find food for herself after a nuclear disaster, and he attempts to rape her.
No.
And that's the sort of first full frontal that I ever saw. And I remember looking and sort of thinking back to my mother's words of last turkey in the shop and thinking how appropriate a phrase it was.
Definitely.
Yes, I didn't need to see that.
Nobody needs to see that.
No.
No.
No lights, thank you. Just cover
No.
it up. we know what it does. We don't need to look at it.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I was much more impressed with the sight of the Duke of Hastings' backside.
Now that, yeah, definitely. Bottoms.
And moving at such speed.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it was very enthusiastic.
So should we let you get back to the wedding night then?
Well, I'll have to have a cup of tea first, obviously.
Oh, right.
One needs refreshments.
Okay.
prior to an endeavour. So yeah. I think we've made some progress today. I kind of know where I'm going with a couple of things, and hopefully Catherine's got a resolution with hers, and Jessie's now got a plan for her gloves, the autumn 2019 gloves, and then do the duplicate stitch later to finish the year that they're finished in and that sort of thing. So yeah,
Definitely.
I think we've had an hour and a bit well spent, don't you?
Excellent. I'm very sorry about all my technical issues.
Well, and a brief visit by your lovely husband and Arthur, of course, who we love to see.
As long as everybody could have a laugh at me, it's fine. I don't mind being the brunt of a joke. It's not a problem.
No, we spend a lifetime doing it, don't we, really?
Exactly. It's not
no problem at all. Although I will share with you, is Jake had to go out to the car on, I think it was New Year's Eve, to get something, and I said, it is really frosty out there, and handed him some salt, and I said, salt the path, give it a few minutes, just sprinkle liberally down the path, give it a few minutes before you go out. Well, of course, he goes stepping onto the path with confidence, flinging salt as he goes, not giving it any chance really to melt any of the ice and frost that's on there, and then opened the gate. Well, I had previously salted our path, so all it needed was really a top up. But then he stepped onto the pavement outside the house and went, whoa, at great speed into the car and onto the road.
Oh no, you should have been there ready with your phone. Because
oh my God.
We could have all laughed.
Well, at least he didn't fall, because I would have been laughing so hard I couldn't have helped pick him up.
Yeah, well, you know, and as long as he didn't injure himself, you had to take him to the hospital.
No, it was fun. I did have to laugh. I must admit, when I went to start the car yesterday, I sort of toddled out very carefully, having previously salted and even salted the pavement outside.
Oh, good.
Because it was just black ice.
We had 4 inches of snow yesterday.
Words fail me.
You know,
we got a sprinkling that I thought was snow, but I think was just a hard frost.
It's very disappointing when you're expecting 4 inches and you just get a sprinkling.
Well, it takes me back to years ago, if anybody can remember, when Ulrika Johnson used to be a weather girl.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the male presenters had the previous night forecast 8 inches of snow. And then in the morning, it had not materialised. And Ulrika made this comment with a very big smile about, oh, and you promised me 8 inches last night and never gave it to me. All you could hear was, I think it was Eamon Holmes at the time, who was just dying laughing, and the cameras are wobbling as the cameramen just nobody knows what to say. And I've never seen a young woman blush quite so fast the roots of her hair, but it was very funny.
Ooh, ka 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 ka.
Yes, that's the one.
Right, I'm going to go and have my dinner.
Right, go and have your dinner. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you on Sunday. Happy New Year. Obviously, Emma's going to sing you in.
Oh, yes, I have a new song. Are you ready? I'll have to... I didn't warm up, but, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Are you ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2,